June 2011 was a month packed with wild events that captured the world's attention. From the shocking arrest of notorious gangster Whitey Bulger to the intensity of the NBA Finals, from the political drama surrounding John Edwards' misuse of campaign funds to the day Navy SEALs found out where Osama was hiding. Inside this chaotic month was a wild story of obsession and hatred for singer Joss Stone. On June 13, 2011, two men, Kevin Liverpool and Junior Bradshaw, left their Manchester apartment at 2 a.m. and hopped in a red Fiat Punto. They were on a sinister journey to a place called Devon. Their target was Joss Stone, a Grammy-nominated singer known to the world for her soulful voice. In the car, the two men were armed with a samurai sword, two hammers, knives, body bags, and ski masks. The plan was to do the unthinkable before dumping her body in a river. As this plot unfolded, much of the world's attention was directed elsewhere. Just weeks earlier, the long and relentless manhunt for Osama bin Laden had reached its dramatic conclusion. For 15 years, US and British forces had been tracking him for his involvement in numerous attacks around the globe. The breakthrough came when a captured leader, imprisoned in Guantanamo Bay, revealed the alias of one of bin Laden's couriers. Surveillance of this courier led officials to a compound where he frequently traveled. To confirm bin Laden's presence at the compound, a vaccination program was launched under the disguise as a fight against hepatitis. In reality, it was a covert operation to collect DNA samples from residents to verify their identity. Once DNA confirmation was completed, a U.S. Navy SEAL team was deployed to carry out the mission. After years of evading capture, Osama bin Laden was hit during the operation. He didn't make it, marking the end of one of the most significant manhunts in modern history. On June 2, 2011, Mitt Romney formally announced his candidacy for the U.S. presidency, kicking off his campaign for the Republican Party's nomination.
We're following developing news on the campaign trail this afternoon. Former Massachusetts Governor Mitt Romney announces his bid for the 2012 Republican presidential nomination.
The very next day, former Senator John Edwards was indicted on charges related to campaign finance violations. The indictment alleged that campaign funds were used to cover the medical and living expenses of a woman with whom he was having an affair. These payments were reportedly intended to hide the affair and the resulting out-of-wedlock child, to simply keep things secret from the media and public so as to protect his political ambitions. Although Edwards was not convicted of any crime, the revelations of his extramarital affair and fathering a child while his wife was battling terminal cancer damaged his public image and ended his political career. That same day, Dr. Jack Kevorkian, the controversial pathologist and advocate, passed away at the age of 83. Suffering from kidney failure, Dr. Kevorkian, true to his beliefs, declined artificial measures to extend his life, facing his prognosis on his own terms. Former San Francisco 49ers football players Joe Perry and John Henry Johnson both passed away just months apart. Their passing became a significant moment in the ongoing research into head injuries in sports. Researchers at Boston University announced an agreement to examine their brains for signs of CTE, a degenerative brain disorder linked to repeated brain trauma. This study further highlighted the growing concerns about the long-term effects of head injuries in professional sports. Meanwhile, sports fans celebrated as the Dallas Mavericks won their first NBA championship by defeating the Miami Heat in Game 6. This was the first title in franchise history, which Dirk Nowitzki was named MVP for his amazing performance. The following day, Liverpool and Bradshaw left their apartment at 2 a.m. and set off in a red Fiat Punto on a sinister journey to East Devon. They had targeted Joss Stone after noticing her connections to the British royal family. She had performed at a charity concert attended by the Duke of Cambridge and was a guest at his wedding. Police later discovered handwritten notes expressing disapproval of the Queen and revealing that the men had spent time researching Stone. From Manchester, the pair stopped to refuel their car, but drove off without paying. Shortly after, they crashed into railings at the service station. Although police arrived to handle the incident, they did not search the vehicle, allowing the men to continue their journey south. Once in Devon, the two became lost and flagged down a mailman, showing him a photograph of Joss Stone and asking where she lived. Their suspicious behavior escalated when 3 women noticed them acting strangely and contacted the police.
But these are men who had a deep hatred of Joss Stone. Back in June of 2011, they set off from their home in Manchester and made the long journey down to Devon, crashing their car on the way. And phone calls were made from locals reporting these 2 men acting in a strange way on the high street. And so police surrounded their Fiat Punto and arrested the men there.
When officers stopped the Fiat, a search of the car revealed an alarming collection of items: a samurai sword, 3 knives, 2 hammers, masks, gloves, maps, and plastic body bags. Further investigation at their apartment uncovered even more weapons, including a pistol and a crossbow. Among the evidence, police found chilling handwritten notes referring to Stone as a she-devil and outlining a gruesome plan to do the unthinkable and dispose of her in a river. This disturbing discovery confirmed the depth of their sinister intentions. 10 days later, across the seas in California, notorious gangster Whitey Bulger was arrested following a media campaign aimed at locating him. Bulger, who had allegedly collaborated with the FBI for over a decade, went into hiding in 1994 after his former FBI handler, John Connolly, tipped him off about an indictment aimed at him. Prosecutors were building a case against Bulger, tying him to 19 bodies. It was based on testimony from his former associates and crime partners. After 16 years on the run, Bulger's freedom came to an end on June 22, 2011, when a tip from the public, spurred by the media campaign, led to his capture. He was later convicted and sentenced to 2 consecutive life sentences. At the age of 89, Bulger was transferred to a prison in West Virginia. Within 12 hours of his arrival, surveillance footage captured 2 individuals entering his cell at 6:19 a.m., closing the door behind them, and leaving 7 minutes later at 6:26 a.m. Bulger was found severely beaten and did not survive the attack. The very next day, the world bid farewell to one of television's most iconic detectives, Peter Falk, best known as Columbo. He passed away at the age of 83, leaving behind a legacy of unforgettable performances. That same day, Transformers: Dark of the Moon premiered at the Moscow Film Festival. The action-packed blockbuster would later become a massive hit, grossing over $1 billion worldwide. June 2011 was a month of extremes, of triumph and terror, of justice and near tragedy. From the Dallas Mavericks securing their first NBA championship to Whitey Bulger's long-awaited arrest, but it was the story of 2 men, driven by hatred and delusion, who set out to end the life of a young artist that serves as a chilling reminder. Sometimes danger lurks where we least expect it. Which moment stood out to you the most? Let us know in the comments. Subscribe and stay tuned for more stories from the month it happened.